All right, everybody, welcome to BO Boys for Friday, September 1st, emergency ep. I'm Clayton. We're live in studio. Fuck it. Raw feed.
Wow, he is so flustered.
I'm flustered.
I'm Pat. And you know what? You have reason to be flustered because this is an emergency episode. We had to get on mic. Of course, we just did our gigantic double issue fall preview episode with Jeff Fox. So if you haven't already, go listen to that. We talk about all of the big fall movies, all the small fall movies, what's going to work, what's going to flop, what's going to be huge. But you know what? That episode is incomplete, Clayton, because after we recorded the fall preview with Jeff Bach, big, huge movie news dropped the next day, which is that Taylor Swift is putting out a film in theaters in October. It is going to be a concert film of her Eras tour. Now, Clayton, you are a self-professed Swiftie. You are a Swiftie. Could you just, for the wannabe boys, wannabe girls, wannabe people, and the Minifans and the Stoolies who listen to this show, put into perspective, who is Taylor Swift and just how big is Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift is a singer-songwriter. Used to be full country, went pop. One of the greatest songwriters of her generation, maybe any generation.
Wow, of any generation. Okay,
Yeah.
So Kirk Minahan, huge guest on the show, and more importantly, a huge listener, wannabe boy. He's a big Bruce guy, and he's listening to this right now because he listens to every word that we say on air. Would you put Taylor Swift up there with Bruce, with the boss?
I mean, I'm a Boss fan.
Okay.
Obviously, I would say they're in the same sort of stratosphere, but I wouldn't put her over Bruce at this point. I can't do that. I can't do that.
But in the
voice of the working man, but in the same stratosphere,
yeah.
And akin to how big Bruce got in the early to mid 80s with Born in the USA.
Right.
I mean, we're seeing Taylor Swift take over culture.
Yeah.
In a way that Michael Jackson did with Thriller.
Right.
The way Madonna did with Like a Virgin. The way Prince did.
Right.
With 1999 Purple Rain, with that. And
the way in my head the Strokes did with Last Night in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Again, in my head, that's how big they were.
But not only just the music sphere, obviously, she is conquering all spheres.
Right.
And that is why this Eras tour, sorry, pardon me, raw feed, it has become so big. I mean, the tickets are super expensive. She's going through all her back catalog. She's been re-recording her albums so that she gets the money and Scooter Braun doesn't get the money. That's a whole Michigosh. Look that up. We're not a music podcast, huh?
Though that will be a blockbuster movie at some point when someone plays Taylor Swift and she kills the Scooter Braun character.
Yes.
That'll be a big movie.
So this is like the peak of her fame. Now, who knows? Maybe she gets bigger. I mean, I don't know how you get bigger than this, but she is now at the peak of her fame.
Right. She's doing this tour that she's doing. It's all stadiums.
Yes.
She's basically every city she goes into, she plays their stadium and sells it out for 1 or 2 nights. It is, this is a WrestleMania every night, basically, to put that in terms that the Stoolies could understand.
And this is a hard ticket to get. I know, Pat, you're looking to get tickets for not this tour, but like the next round, right?
I'm looking for next summer in Europe. I'd have to see it overseas, of course. Yeah. I can't see it here on U.S. soil. But yes, I'm looking at overseas, and it's Wembley Stadium. That's how big she is. So that's the tour that they have filmed, and they're putting it out in movie theaters. So this is the news that dropped just yesterday, that it's the Taylor Swift, the Eras tour, the movie, is going to be in AMC theaters and additional theaters other than AMC's, because I'm seeing it's already. I'm getting emails from the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn, but I guess the big partnership is with AMC.
Yes.
And the original announcement is that it's going to be playing for 4 weekends, starting on Friday, October 13th, and it's going to play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. and have at least 4 showings a day. So this is not a Fathom event,
Nope.
and this is not a Knives Out situation, This is not, we're putting it out for 7 days and then it goes in the vault. This is a legit theatrical release, and this has been an atom bomb on the box office, but in a good way. This has been a good atom bomb.
A good atom bomb. Because,
like Oppenheimer.
Yeah. We keep getting
the movie, not the person or real life atom bomb, but the movie atom bomb in Oppenheimer was great for the movies.
Yes. We keep getting information fast and furious about records being broken. Now, for AMC, they're reporting that the Eras Tour has pre-sales that has broken the record for AMC pre-sales, which was held by Spider-Man No Way Home at $16.9 million. Right now, the pre-sales at AMC, $26 million for this concert film.
Oh my God.
And that is just AMC.
Just AMC. Again, it's going to be playing in non-AMC theaters. It's going to be in your indies and your draft houses. And in your Regals or
yeah, it says
Regals
Regal Cinemark, AMC Cinemark, Regal. Right now, $37 million in pre-sales is what's being reported by Deadline exclusively. Exclusively,
and
other
that's
than
as of
us.
right now. Yeah.
I mean, they got it first. We're reporting it as well.
Yeah.
So we're not exclusive, but as close to exclusive as can be. And they're saying that means that the Eras Tour right now, the opening weekend projection is 70 million, which is mind-boggling, because when you look at concert films,
like the biggest concert film ever tops out at what, 80? Did the Justin Bieber movie get to 80 million?
So actually, this was curious because I thought it was Justin Bieber as well, but Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus Best of Both Worlds concert in 2008 opened to 31 million and legged out to 65.2. And
so that's opening weekend, but the biggest total ever is the Bieber film, got to 73
and it opened at 29.5. So, and then Michael Jackson, This Is It in 2009, opened at 23.2 and made 72 million. So the opening weekend of this could be and will be bigger than Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, and Miley Cyrus. Right?
It'll be bigger than any of those films made in their entire
run.
The opening week. I mean, let's just go for that part of it right now. I think, and our guest on the last episode, Jeff Bach, he tweeted this, I think just this morning, that he thinks this movie's going over 100. I definitely think the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, the movie, is opening to over $100 million on Friday, October 13th. I think that's a slam doink.
I do too. Slam doink.
Yeah.
It's so big that Exorcist ran scared. The Exorcist ran scared.
Yeah.
You're supposed to run from The Exorcist scared because it's so scary.
Yeah.
The Exorcist ran.
Yes.
Jason Blum tweeted, "We're running. Look what you made me do." Reference to Taylor Swift lyrics. Moved off
smart man. Yeah.
Their October 13th date.
Wow.
Ran backwards.
Yeah.
To get clear of this juggernaut.
Now, do we think that is a mistake? Because,
yes.
Right? Because we already saw, everyone was saying after Barbenheimer, what is going to be the next Barbenheimer meme situation? And of course, you got the studios who are mistakenly trying to make Paw Patrol or Saw Patrol happening with Saw X and Paw Patrol opening on September 29th, I think. Obviously, that's not going to happen. That's a fake meme. That's not a real meme. But the Taylor Swift and Exorcist opening on the same day would have been Barbenheimer.
You have a great name for this meme.
What was the name of the meme?
Exorswift.
Jesus.
Hashtag Exorswift. It's given to you on a platter.
Oh my God.
The other thing about this is this movie, the Taylor Swift concert film.
Mhm.
Now, everybody's going to go see this.
Everybody.
You already have tickets.
I already have tickets with my wife and my sister and my nieces, and we are all going to see it, and we're all getting the souvenir cups of soda and the souvenir buckets of popcorn. I've already been told by the nieces that is happening. They are so excited to see this. Now, they have seen a few films in theaters already. They've seen Little Mermaid, famously. My oldest niece, I took her to see the Minions movie back in summer of 2022. Look back on the archive. She was on an episode of the show giving her review of that film. They've seen some films in theaters. Saw the Barbie movie, liked it a lot. They have never come close to expressing the excitement over going to a movie theater as they have just yesterday when they were told that Taylor Swift has a movie in the movie theaters.
Yeah. So
gigantic.
The female fans will come, and they will come early. They will. That's why this is going to be so front loaded.
And there is a gigantic, much like with Barbenheimer, dress up element to this. Taylor Swift has told fans, come to the theater dressed up in your favorite Taylor Swift era.
Yes.
And just within my family group, that is happening. Outfits are being picked out already, possibly even for me.
So that will be great. We need picks. Pixar didn't happen, but the thing with the Exorcist...
Is there an early 2000s era that I could dress up as? Can I just go as Julian Casablancas? Is that a Taylor Swift era?
She was not a going concern at that point.
Okay.
She was born in 1989, so she would have been in her
like
queen
12
years.
Yeah. Okay.
So no.
Okay.
Is the short answer to that. But going back to the Exorswift, is that the costumes are there. Your favorite era of Taylor Swift, plus you're possessed. You got the puke, you got the green teeth. You got the eyes that are black. You've got the scars on your face. Your head's turned backwards.
And it's Halloween. It's October 13th.
Yes.
We're in the middle of Shocktober, of spooky season. It is the perfect time to put out these two movies together that are asking people to go in costume to the theater. Exorcist, Believer, for sure would have made more money on October 13th than it will on October 6th.
Because the thing is, in tandem, you're stronger.
Yes.
Before that movie comes out, before this film, and then we'll get swept away.
We'll get steamrolled.
Yep. And I think there's even an element of, I'm not going to the theater until next weekend.
Yes.
Because I need to reserve my energy, because now I am screaming for a different reason. I'm screaming in elation. I'm screaming the way the Bobby Soxers screamed for Sinatra. I'm screaming the way the people at Shea Stadium screamed for the Beatles.
Yes.
I am screaming in a positive way, where the Exorcist is screaming in not a negative way, but out of terror.
Yeah. I would say in a negative way. I would say when the Exorcist screams on film, it's negative.
But I'm talking about the audience.
The audience. Yeah.
But what if you could take that one weekend and get all your screams out?
Yes.
And it's the same thing as Barbie and Oppenheimer, where, okay, it's so diametrically opposed.
Yes.
But it's a crossover, because young women love to go to horror movies.
Yes.
They drive horror movies the same way young men do. You could do a double feature of this. I don't understand. Jason Blum is a genius. And I do not say that lightly. When, I've said this before, they talk about Marvel and how extended that success was. And, we're seeing the dip in Marvel. We're seeing Kevin Feige sweating and wringing his collars out from sweat, because he's just so worried.
Yeah.
Jason Blum has had a successful career that continues. He is continuing to be successful. He's continuing to find new ways and different things to purchase, like The Exorcist, like Halloween, to continue his reign of the low budget king that makes huge Bafa Bobo movies.
Yep.
An Exorcist, I'm lower on it than you, but listen, he probably paid as much as Dave Portnoy paid for his for Barstool. He probably paid $1 for The Exorcist.
The Exorcist rights were pretty extensive. The payment to get that was pretty high, but it's a big IP. He makes a ton of money on these smaller movies.
So
but
he
went on big on this, and I think that
one
makes
Purge movie
sense.
paid for this Exorcist.
100%.
Yeah. And you know what? You make it low budget and you put it out there, and it's going to do great at the theater and great at home. So, and the thing is, he knows when he has a stinker. Five Nights at Freddy's, he's doing the Peacock release along with the theatrical release because he knows it's a stinker, but he knows that it's a Halloween season, so people are going to go see a horror movie in the theaters. He's a smart man. This move was not smart.
This move is not
You
smart.
cannot run from Taylor Swift.
Right.
You should grab the wave and be at the peak of the wave. Now,
exactly.
You're standing on the beach.
Coattails.
Yeah.
If this is a lesson for anyone in life, if you have a chance to ride the coattails of someone or something greater than you, hold on. And The Exorcist had a chance to ride Taylor Swift's coattails that weekend, and it instead ran away. I don't get it.
Standing on the beach, looking at that wave,
right,
about to crush it.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And the thing is,
especially coming so close after Barbenheimer, and it just goes to show, did anyone learn anything from that? Did anyone?
No, Hollywood never learns the right lesson.
You can't create that. You only have to accept it when it's handed to you on a silver platter, and they didn't accept this. And we're putting the quote unquote blame here on Jason Blum.
Yeah.
This is a Universal movie. Like, Blumhouse is the production company, but Universal made this decision, and when it's going to be released, I would say Blumhouse probably has more say in the marketing and obviously the production of it. But this feels like Universal is going to be the one who decided to move the release date, and Universal was half of Barbenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
They were one of the two studios. I just don't get this. I think the Exorcist movie would have gotten so much more free publicity opening on October 13th. And you get the basic principle of, if there's an open weekend, try not to open against a bigger movie. But I think that kind of rule has been thrown out the window because of Barbenheimer.
Especially when it is true, it's not counter programming, it's tandem programming.
Yes, 100%.
You want to have the two different flavors. You want to have sweet and salty, right? You don't want to go sweet and sweet.
Right. If this had been Spielberg announced that he had secretly filmed a new Jaws movie and was releasing that on October 13th, then I can understand The Exorcist being like, all right, Jaws is bigger than us and Spielberg's bigger than us, and it's the same audience.
Yes.
And so we've got to move, because there's not an Exor-Jaws combo. They would just be at odds with each other.
Yeah.
But Exorswift is I mean, you could see the memes already. You could see Taylor Swift spitting out the pea soup on stage. That would have been an incredible meme. And I'm sure if you're a meme maker right now, you've got to be so sad.
Yeah.
Because you had just months worth of memes that you would have made millions on or nothing on. I don't know if memes make anyone any money, but they would have got to make them.
Yeah.
And now they can't. They can't. It's like it's like when a team loses the Super Bowl and they have all of their like Super Bowl championship hats that become worthless in the warehouse.
And the shirts. They get sent to third world countries, actually.
But that's where I get, that's what you're gonna have to do with these Exorswift memes. They can't be used anymore.
No.
They can't be used anymore. So, give them to people who are less fortunate, do not have as many memes, I guess, is what you do with these Exorswift memes.
So I do think, as positive as this is for Theatrical, with the fact that Taylor Swift is putting this out in an area where there was going to be a big movie like Dune, And now there is going to be a movie like this, which is going to be huge for theatrical, that they don't have to deal with a studio.
Oh, this is amazing. I mean, let's get back to the positives. So obviously Exorswift would have been great for The Exorcist. I think The Exorcist
and theatrical, but I
and
do think that we can't focus on
no, because this is gigantic for theatrical.
Yes.
Taylor Swift dropping this blockbuster movie that 2 days ago did not exist, and now it's going to be in theaters. It's going to be on IMAX. I mean, the IMAX company, and I'll say this: I was listening to an interview with, and I forget his name, the head of IMAX. He was on former, not future guest, and Matt Bellamy's podcast Town, and they did, and this I think dropped on Tuesday or Wednesday. They did mention the Taylor Swift tour in passing, and it was brought up. Oh, a theatrical version, and the IMAX owner sort of shifted the conversation away, but he said, oh, that would be great. Obviously, he knew what was coming at that point. This is huge for IMAXs because, like you said, Dune was supposed to open that first week in November and move to next year. That was going to be a big IMAX movie. The Marvels is the quote unquote big movie opening in November, and we all kind of feel like that's going to underperform.
Yeah.
This Taylor Swift movie is going to more than make up for what Dune would have did, because Dune was not going to open to $100 million opening weekend. That was not going to happen.
Taylor Swift is the Captain Marvel people want.
Yes.
She is the superhero people want. And I know that's been said in many places, but I agree with that. I mean, this sets the precedent now for big artists. And there's not many artists that are as big as Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, short of the Strokes, I don't know who else could do this.
But look at something like Lemonade, which was the album and sort of film that accompanied the Beyonce album that came out in 2016. Now, say Beyonce in 2 years after her album cycle is over, the last one that she just did. Now, she's not as big as Taylor Swift at the moment, but a legacy act with a huge fan base,
right,
makes another sort of Lemonade sort of movie that opened on the internet.
Right.
Why wouldn't Beyonce open her film on theater screens, on IMAXs, on the PLFs, Screen X, I mean, why would you not do 4DX?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, that is a perfect marriage, because then you could have the concert experience. You could have someone pouring beer on your neck.
Yes.
You know, you could have somebody throwing a lollipop at the screen and trying to blind somebody.
Right.
You know, I mean, those are the sort of things that you could have in a 4DX situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, you know, like you said, there's a limited tier of other artists who could pull this off. I mean, at this level, obviously we've had concert films before. You've had stand-up films. Your Kevin Hart movies have made money as stand-up films in theaters.
Run, Tell Dat.
Right. But those are at a level where they end up making $20+ million total. And that's a huge success because it's pretty much found money. But the other people who could do anything near this Taylor, I mean, again, Taylor Swift's movie will open to $100 million or more opening weekend. We're talking, this is a movie that in its pre-sale opening day is comping to Spider-Man with 3 Spider-Men. It's comping to The Force Awakens. And obviously, I don't think this is going to open to $200 million, but these first day pre-sales are incredible. And like you said, she is the self-distributor of this. She is partnering with the theater. So it's not like Universal Studios is distributing the Taylor Swift movie. She is distributing it. And what that also means is she could promote this movie. Now, you know, Taylor Swift has acted in movies, so I assume she is SAG. I think at the level that she's appeared in films, that means she has to be SAG.
Oh, yeah.
So if this was a movie distributed through Universal, A, I don't think she could promote it, or B, I don't know if I think it would be a huge problem for her if she had made a kind of deal like that. But the Struck Studios are not involved. So Taylor Swift can do whatever she wants promoting this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously all she needs to do is put an Instagram post out. Like that's pretty much what sold all of the tickets yesterday.
Yes.
But she can, if she wants, eat hot wings. She could go on the Kirk Minahan show. She could do that. She's allowed to do those big promotional stops for this film. And that will be the only film where the stars can go around promoting.
Yeah. I mean, it's a brilliant, brilliant gambit by her. It's a brilliant business decision.
Yeah.
And
it makes her a movie star.
And it makes her a movie star. I mean, that's huge, which is what anybody wants to be. I mean, you looked at Justin Timberlake, he wanted to be an actor. John Bon Jovi wanted to be an actor. She wanted to be an actor.
Yeah. I mean, she was in the David O. Russell film a year ago. The Amsterdam. She was in Amsterdam.
She was in The Giver. She was in one of those Valentine's Day, maybe? Was she in Valentine's Day?
She was in one of the Gary Marshall holiday movies.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Valentine's Day. And, she hadn't found acting success, and we're not critics, huh? So we're not going to critique her acting ability. All of that goes out the window after this movie makes $100 million, because the next step for her is enough with the supporting parts in big ensemble films, enough with trying to figure out your acting ability. Taylor Swift's next movie should be Taylor Swift in and then Giant Property or whatever the movie is. She's the star, because after this movie opens to 100, probably makes $200 or $300 million in its run, she's a movie star.
Yeah.
She's a movie star.
This is huge. And the thing about this story too, is that it's going to be ongoing. I mean, these numbers are going to continue to go up.
Yep.
The only thing limiting this opening for this film is the amount of screens that will be available for this film.
Yeah. And you're already seeing, because the announcement, the rollout plan was this movie will play 4 times a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. AMC is already saying, actually, we're going to find additional show times were available. They're going to be moving things out of the theaters. I think this is a potentially rough move for some of the smaller movies that might be coming out or been out around that time. Listen, something like Saw X, that thing's done by October 13th. Anyway, Paw Patrol, I know Dumb Money opens wide on October 6th. So it may lose screens. I still, me and Jeff Bach, while you had your internet issues on the last episode, me and Jeff both pegged Dumb Money as a potential breakout for a movie of that level, something we think could hit 50 million in its total run. That opens October 6th. The Taylor Swift movie could eat into that a little bit, or the thing is, it just gets more people back in the habit of going to the movie theater.
That's the thing too.
Yeah.
And I also think that movie is so small in the sense that it could ride out the giant wave.
It's going to have to make its bones over the course of 3 months.
Yeah, where Exorcist is one of those movies that is going to have is hoping to have a big opening and then also have big holds through Halloween, which is not going to happen in this case when the wave comes.
It would have had, I mean, this is all hypothetical, but we know what we're talking about, so it's true.
Yeah.
I think that Exorcist Believer would have had a better second weekend on October 20th than it's going to have a second weekend on October 13th. Because, again, the free publicity that Oppenheimer got from being part of Barbenheimer cannot be understated. And that helped its legs for the next month. The Barbenheimer publicity helped Oppenheimer all through August. And the Exorswift publicity would have helped Exorcist Believer in a second, third, fourth weekend. Absolutely. It's going to fall off a cliff on October 13th when instead it could have been holding on to Taylor Swift's coattails on October 13th.
Oh, it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing.
But this is great news for movie theaters, because when we were talking with Jeff and we got off mic afterwards, we were a little upset
worried,
because there just weren't any slam doink mega movies. You know, you looked at last fall and you had Wakanda Forever in November, and we knew we had Avatar 2, Way of Water in December. This fall and holiday season didn't have that level of movie until now. Taylor Swift is this year's, you know, Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's this year's James Cameron movie.
Yeah. This is huge, Pat.
Yeah. This is amazing. And Clayton, this is, you know, I congratulate you as a longtime Swiftie. This is big for you. Will you be seeing this in theater? You have not seen as much in theaters recently as I think, let's just say you should. But Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the movie, feels like a must see. This is a historic event. I think you got it. I mean, wanna-be-o boys, wanna-be-o girls, wanna-be-o people. Email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com, or get on social media and add us at the BO Boys Pod. I mean, you tell us, does Clayton need to see Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the movie in theaters? I think he does. I mean, what do you think, Clayton? This feels, it's going to open at 100 million.
Well, you know, have wanna-be-o senior intern, Christopher, put up a what is that, on X?
A Twitter X poll.
Can't you put up a poll? And listen, I will take whatever that poll says and I will apply it to my life.
Wow.
So whatever, yes or no, I will do.
Wow. But with the question has to be, does Clayton need to see the Taylor Swift?
It can't just be anything. Well, should Clayton smash his head with a hammer?
Right,
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Yeah. I mean, we're saving that for Sweeps Month.
Yeah, that'll be a huge pay-per-view event.
Yeah.
That's a Fathom event. I smash my head with a hammer.
Yep.
So, Pat, this was an emergency episode, and we are busy people.
Yeah.
And we needed to sit down and focus on this bonus episode. And, before about a week or 2 weeks ago, we probably would have had a hard time doing this episode because we wouldn't have been able to get it together for this.
Right. We would have been too scatterbrained.
Yes. But good thing. A angel from the heavens came down.
Yes.
In a little bottle form. And that angel is called Magic Mind.
I mean, Magic Mind, Clayton, I like to call it a little boost of productivity. That's what I like to call it. It comes in a tiny bottle. I mean, I'm trying to show how big it is. I'm doing it, but you're great. There it is. Look at Clayton's doing it. That is the size of a bottle of Magic Mind. It's so tiny, but it gives you so much, because we would have had a hard time just a few weeks ago getting this extra episode on the air, because we would have had I gotta get to the studio, and then what are we gonna call it?
Yeah.
When are we gonna drop it? Instead, we're on our Magic Mind regimen. We take it every morning. It's delicious, and it gets us to be able to focus. Where when this news hit that Taylor Swift had been was dropping a movie in theaters, and it's the biggest box office news we've had in so long, we were able to zone right in on that, text each other, say, hey, we got to get to the studio today. We got to get there at this time. We got here on time. And it's because Magic Mind lets us block out all the other noise.
Yep. It's a stress reliever.
Yep.
It's got ashwagandha. I can't say it, but everybody knows what it is.
Yes.
It reduces stress and anxiety. It's got lion's mane. We're both Leos. Leo season is over, but that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy our lion's mane every morning.
Yeah.
And it's got
roar.
Matcha. Little bit of caffeine. I can't drink coffee. I'll be jittery.
Right.
This, no jitters.
None.
Gives me a good, strong focus and relieves the anxiety now that we had about this slate coming up for the fall. It's not just the Taylor Swift movie. It's the fact that we drink our magic mind every morning. We are not stressing,
No.
and the universe provided.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you almost have to think, if we were not on this Magic Mind regimen, would this Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, the movie, have even happened?
Maybe not.
Maybe
No,
not.
not maybe. It wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't have. So if you want to get your mind right,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be productive, sharp, focused, and stress-free, go to www.magicmind.com/moviebox
Mm-hmm.
and put in our exclusive code MovieBox20. That's MovieBox20 all together. And you can get up to 50% off your subscription. And this is just for the next 10 days. So do it now. If you don't do it in the next 10 days, you can still use that code for 20% off a subscription or a single purchase. So if you just want to try it, try it. But come on, what are you doing? You don't commit to anything. You can't commit. You can't subscribe to something that changes your life. Come on, do a subscription, for God's sake.
Well, here's the thing, is right now they're very scatterbrained and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And subscribing seems like the most difficult task in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Once you take this Magic Mind and you get on the daily regimen, because you really start to feel the benefits after 3 days. And then after 7 days, it's just like, wowie, wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have the focus to subscribe to other things. And maybe that includes an AMC A-list subscription that you've been putting off for a while because your mind can't focus on filling out the form in the app.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get on that Magic Mind regimen, you'll be able to subscribe to AMC A-list, the Regal one, if that's the only thing available to you. You know, maybe.
No, I think they're sharp enough to understand
it depends
that
where
ain't
you live.
the one for them.
It depends where you live, though. You may live in a Regal only zone, but either way, you'll have.
I will not promote a Regal subscription here because I did it and it was the worst year of my life. So I will not do that, and I'm not bringing. We got to stay positive here because it's the Magic Mind subscription that you need to focus on.
100%. Once you take Magic Mind, you will have this sharp, clear focus to make those kind of decisions for yourself.
Yep.
And, you know, look at that, Clayton. You right now just bashed the Regal subscription that you had. And it goes to show we are no shills.
No.
We are no shills. We only speak the truth. And you were not happy with that Regal subscription last year, but you are loving your Magic Mind regimen.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, MovieBox20 is the BO Boys exclusive code when you sign up for your Magic Mind.
Now, Pat, you know, I think we this emergency episode was amazing.
Amazing.
Thanks to us.
Yes.
Thanks to Wanna BO senior intern, Christopher.
Yep. Thanks to our new Wanna BO intern, Jack. Yep. Great name. Had it, you know, he's got the movie star name.
And thanks to us.
Yes.
We did a great job.
We did a great job. So, of course, email us. Let us know what a great emergency episode this was. Email us at theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Love getting your boots on the ground reporting, your predictions. Have you bought a ticket yet to Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the movie? Are you dressing up? Let us know. Of course, when it gets to it, we're going to want pics of everyone dressing up. So down the road, email us those at theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on the social media at the BO Boys Pod. Wanna BO senior intern Christopher is doing an amazing job with the vertical clips on Twitter X, on TikTok. So follow us at the BO Boys Pod. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. This episode deserves a 5-star review because this was not something you were expecting. This was an emergency bonus episode. So I think the best way to show your appreciation for this emergency episode, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Of course, you just write, I love the show, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And of course, we're YouTubers. I almost forgot that we are YouTubers. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. You only get half the story if you're only listening to the podcast. You also have to look at us. You can see Clayton there giving us with his fingers the size of a Magic Mind bottle. So you only get that on YouTube. So find us on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and ring that
bell.
ring that bell. And I think that's it, Clayton. I think that has been our emergency episode for the Taylor Swift The Errors of the Movie episode.
I mean, yeah, I think we said it all.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything left to say.
No.
Except for, until next time, we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it.